Excellencies, our royal fathers of the day, Honorable Minister of State, Minister of Finance, Vice Chancellor Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on existing protocols. I stand here before you to read a speech on behalf of my principal, the presidential candidate of New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, Engineer, Distinguished Senator, Dr. Rabiu Kwankwanso, who was here and waited for like an hour, but regrettably he had to leave for another engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to be in your midst today and to share my thoughts with you about one of the most important sectors of our economy, the cotton, garment, and textile industry. It is very important for a number of reasons. It has one of the most extensive value chains and therefore the capacity to provide decent employment for millions of Nigerians. It can also fight poverty, generate foreign exchange earnings, as well as boosting manufacturing and the overall performance of the economy. From cotton seed management to cotton production, to spinning, to weaving and knitting, to dyeing, printing and designing, the cotton, garment and textile value chains is rich with opportunities for citizens across social ladders. While our textile industry used to be the third largest in Africa in the late 70s and early 80s, while our textile industries also used to be the second largest employer of labor in the country, second only to government, a combination of a number of factors have conspired to make Nigeria's garment and textile industry a shadow of its former self. We cannot ignore the fact that crisis in the textile industry is a major contributor to unemployment and the growing poverty in our country, Nigeria. If we are to revamp this industry, we need to understand the factors that are responsible for its decline. A number of experts have conducted a series of studies on the crisis in the textile industry in Nigeria. Some of the factors identified as responsible for the decline include inconsistent government policies, inadequate power supply, and high cost of energy, obsolete machinery and decaying infrastructure, smuggling of foreign textile products, insecurity, and the worst, corruption. It is important to remind this august gathering that while all these and many other factors will continue to be listed as the cause of decline of the industry, there are two particular ones that are worthy to be singled out as. Number one, the abandonment of the periodic National Development Plan. Agriculture in general and the garment and textile industry in particular are major beneficiaries of the National Development Plans that previous governments were following with strong favor. The first National Development Plan was launched in May 1962 and lasted up to the end of 1967 and 68 financial year. The second National Development Plan was launched in April 1970 with 5 principal national objectives, one of which was to promote and grow the textile and other associated manufacturing industries of Nigeria. The third one was launched in March 1975, and the fourth was launched in January 1981, reaffirming that the overriding aim of our development efforts remains that of bringing about an improvement in the living conditions of our people. Abandoning the periodic national development plan is largely responsible for inconsistent government policies in the sector, lack of government support, and so on and so forth. Since the focus has changed from national, regional, or community development to the empowerment of individual elites, this has to change if we are to make any meaningful headway. The reinstituting of the 5-year development plan and the implementation of it with sincerity and competence is necessary. Number 2, World Trade Organization Agreement on Textile and Clothing. In April 1994, the World Trade Organization included negotiation and signed the agreement on textile and clothing in Uruguay. Economists across the world believe that ATC is a major contributor to the collapse of textile industries in many developing countries, including Nigeria. The ATC succeeded in creating a near monopoly for textile industries by one country, like China. The export value of China's textile and garment industry, for example, amounts to more than 60% of the world's total worth of the textile market. Signatories to the ATC need to renegotiate it and protect the growing economies like ours in Nigeria. Let me not finish without mentioning what we did in Kano when I was governor to support the development and revamping of the decaying garment industry. We established garment factories in each of the 44 local government areas with a total investment of about $11 million. So what we did in each local government, we set up the industry, built it, equipped it with new machineries bought at the cost of $250,000 each. The essence of this is to harness the opportunities locally and create employment in the state. Unfortunately,